Shalom. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rahakwadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. Double honors to our teachers, the beloved apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, pushing this word and truth and sincerity across the four winds of the earth, as well as the men, women, and children alike, the believers. Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. It's your brother Karaitazah coming with a quick lesson out of Juan Ratazah. Lord willing, I pray that it's edifying. And it's entitled, Women, What Are You in This For? Centered, humbly through the spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, and directed toward the believing women. All right, what are you in this for? The women who say that they believe this truth and that they're striving and enduring in this truth. What are you enduring it for? What are you in it for? Do you understand, all right, the importance of your role, your purpose, the reward that's promised to you as a woman, a righteous, a hopeful elect lady that's seeking, striving to serve the Lord? Do you understand your reward and what is written in your reward and what is written in your duty, your job description, what you're commanded to do? And do you know to understand the ins and outs of your role and your story as a hopeful elect woman? Do you understand, all right, everything that encompasses your role, what you're expected to do, what you're up against, what you're challenged with and faced with, what your reward is? Do you understand these things? Because if not, you need to get to studying. You need to get to seeking, all right, the Lord through His prophets, asking questions, getting clarification. And why is that so important to understand and to know? Because that's the vision, not our vision, the vision of the Lord, the Father and the Son. Proverbs 29 verse 18, where there is no vision, if you don't understand what you're doing while you're in this truth, and you don't have a vision of the end, your end goal, you don't got an end goal. It says the people perish. Where there's no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Without vision, without a goal, without understanding of what we're doing, the path that we're walking, we perish just like 2/3. Zechariah 13 verse 8, 2/3 of our people have no vision and they're going to perish. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites of the scriptures of the Bible. Sirach chapter 25, and this is, we're going to get straight into the lesson. Sirach Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse, Salakia, verse 22. Sirach 25 and verse 22. When a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation. Now, what is this speaking of? And this is the NLT, this is the Good News translation that I just read. Now, when you read it in the KJV, it says that a woman who maintaineth her husband is angry, roughly paraphrasing. So, and why is that? Because the man's job is to take care and provide for his wife. That's the law. Provide clothing, shelter, all right, to his wife. So, and food is among other things. So, if a man is not able to do that, and his wife has to, take up some of the load, that's gonna bring frustration to that woman, because the woman is the weaker vessel. All right? But there's that but, because in this society, we are captives here. This is not our rest. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. This place is polluted, it's upside down, it's adverse to the scriptures. So, us being in captivity here, the men of Israel are unable to have inheritance to provide to their wives right off the bat, offhand, and that's just a normal custom that's a custom that we're not able to keep here in our captivity. Okay, so now the women have to step up and be a matter of fact, right here, Sirach 36 verse 24, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So women, you are this is what the scriptures command you to be. First of all, you are a possession of your husband, and you are a help like unto him. That means you're supposed to be like him, listen to him, take on his mindset, and be a pillar of rest unto that man. What does pillar mean? Let's go to the word pillar. It says, a tall vertical structure of stone, wood, or metal used as a support for a building. All right? A person or thing regarded as reliably providing essential support for something. Essential, meaning the most important things, the most important support. Absolutely necessary and extremely important. That's what essential means, man. Okay? So, women are a very important and significant asset to the men and us building, all right, building the house of David. This truth, us building. Let's read that again. Pillar, a person or thing regarded as reliably providing essential support for something. Very important support for something. Okay? So now let's go back. Let's go back to Sirach 25 in the GNT and verse 23. Now I'm going to read 22 again. When a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation, because that man is unable to provide and support his wife. She has to help him. That's humiliating for a man. Any man. Okay? Any real man, that's a humiliation when you know that the man is supposed to provide the everything for the woman. Right? Now, let's keep going. Verse 23, a bad wife. Now, what does a good wife do in this situation when she's supposed to support her man and help her man? That's exactly what she's supposed to do, help him. But it says a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed. Let's look at that definition, that simple Google definition of for gloomy. It says dark or poorly lit, especially so as to appear depressing or frightening. Poorly lit, causing depression. Okay? Because there's order in this truth. When you come into this truth, there's order, man. If you don't like the order, step off. Okay? But if you're going to endure There's order in this, and women are ordered by the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to support and to be a helpmeet to their husbands, not to make their husbands gloomy or poorly lit. Because if you do that to your husband, that's less a chance of you getting saved. Remember what the end goal is in this, man. To be saved. Not to be happy here. This is not our rest. Right? Back in Sirach 25, verse 23, a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed and break his heart, his mind. He's not doing videos like he should be. He's not studying like he should. He's not motivated. He ain't inspired. Why? Because it's his wife, right? As it says, right, it's going to keep going. Show me a timid man who can never make up his mind. Show me a timid man who can never make up his mind. And I will show you a wife who doesn't make her husband happy. So that's the order, man. You see, a wife is supposed to make her husband happy. It says sin began with the woman, and we must all. Well, that's not the point, but that's what's gonna happen. You know, a wife. It says verse 26. If she won't do as you tell her, divorce her. Excuse me. So that's the end. The commandment to a man who has a wife that will not support him and comfort him in a time of trouble, because that's what it says in the KJV. Let's read it in the KJV. Sirach 25 verse 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart to her husband. It says, and a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Weak hands and feeble knees. Okay, so what is your goal here? Eve, you know, the women of our nation. What is your goal? Is it to be a help like unto your husband and a pillar of rest when your husband is falling short and he needs you to support him, to help him get back up on his feet? Is that your goal, or is your goal to fulfill your own lust of the world? Because she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, thus saith the scriptures. Okay? And you know what that's going to bring? You living in pleasure? As it says, death. Okay? And it spells it out clearly right here. Micah 7 verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And that's what's finna happen to these women out here that's living in pleasure and not seeking to have a husband, to serve their husbands. Every woman that's trying to live a single life, be independent women, they're going to be trodden down like the mire in the streets. Every last one of them, because they're enemies of the Lord. Shame is going to cover these women in this time that we're coming into, Jacob's trouble, which is fastly approaching. The Lord is speeding the time up. Right, this is the time we're coming into Isaiah 4 and verse 1. And in that day, what day? Jacob's trouble, the worst time throughout the history of the planet Earth. That's why you women are going to need a man. Okay? Each and every one of you women are going to need a man. Without a man, you're going to perish. Okay? And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. So multiple women are going to cleave to one man, because women outnumber men 9-1, roughly quoting. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see that reproach that these women getting judged and trodden down as the mire in the streets. That's what's coming. That's the judgment that the Lord has given them. So what do you want, Eve? What? And I don't say that to be derogatory, to be disrespectful or insulting because Eve is the women of our nation. So what do you want? You know? Because this is what you're gonna be saying when all hell break loose. Oh, when the Lord is dealing with his men, Isaiah 32 and verse 2, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, and as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, in a tired place, a place of desolation, desperation, no hope. The Lord is going to make his men hiding places, protection. In a dry place where there's no food and water, the Lord is going to bless his men to be as rivers of running water, to provide and protect a shadow of a great rock in a weary land, of a shadow when you're in the sun and in the heat. You get that cloud over you, that shadow to cool you down. That's the men. That's how the Lord's gonna make his men in a time of destruction and chaos and in the worst time throughout the history of the planet Earth. Isaiah 13 verse 12, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So the Lord is gonna make his men this, because his flock is with men. Okay? The sheep and the believers, the men, women, and children alike follow those men. So again, going back to Isaiah 4 and 1, okay, that's what the women are gonna be saying to take away their reproach when people are getting often deleted left and right. These men, the men of the Lord. Okay, let me clarify that. Not any man is gonna be a hiding place. Only the men of the Lord who's serving the Lord. All right, because he said he's gonna call for fishers. His men are out here fishing and prophesying, fishing for the elect, feeding the sheep. But soon he's gonna change his fishers into hunters, and he's gonna give his men power and bless them with miracles and deliver them. All right. But in those women, right? Those women are gonna be seeking to cleave to those men in all desperation. Okay? So much so that they're gonna say, don't, we'll feed ourselves, we'll clothe ourselves, just please let us just take us and have sex and marry us, because sex is marriage. So just please have sex and marry us, and that we are called by your name and we're your wives, and that our judgment is taken away from us, and that the Lord is no longer displeased with us. Let us be your wives. That's what these women are going to say, because they're going to wake up to the reality that we're living in. Okay? The prophecies, the scriptures, the will of the Lord is being done. That's what these women are going to realize. Okay? Sirach chapter 26 verse 22, Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach 26 verse 22, and harlot shall be accounted as spittle. So these women that's hoes out here, they don't want husbands, they're seeking their own pleasure in this life. They're going to be counted as spit, as nothing, as dogs. It says, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A tower against death to why? How is a woman a tower against death to her husband? Because she's helping him. She's helping him. She's not criticizing him, critiquing him. She's not trying to usurp authority and have a say so and tell him what he's doing wrong and how he's displeasing her because she wants to live in pleasure. No. She's a tower against death to him because she's helping him. Her mind is like his. She's following his every commandment. She's submissive and obedient in all things to the best of her ability as the scriptures command her to be. That's and submission to a man is life. For you women that don't understand that simple concept, just as we have to submit to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, okay, a woman submitting to her husband is life to him. Okay? Why do you think King David put away his wife, Michal, when she was mouthing off at him? He didn't put her away, but he didn't go in unto her. He didn't give her any children. He just put her to the side, man. Why? Because she was not being a helpmeet, a comfort, a pillar of rest. Okay, she wasn't. She was being a vexation of spirit because he was worshiping and praising the Lord, and she want to come. Oh, I seen your, because she told him, I seen your rod come out while you was dancing and praising the Lord in front of them hoes, in front of them other women. Your rod came out. Yeah, what about that, David? That's what she said to him, King David. She was jealous. Her mind wasn't on the goal, on the reward, on her purpose. Her mind was on pleasure, being happy, being comfortable, being satisfied in a world, okay, being satisfied in a wicked way. Right? And he put her away. So, and what does that tell you? What does that tell women? That pleasure, that self gratification and instant gratification is not worth it, because it's gonna lead you to death. Okay? And that's the point of this lesson. Lord willing, I pray that it was edifying and comforting. And we make these lessons on women because it's needed very much so. But that doesn't mean that the men don't speak to themselves first and foremost, because the men are not perfect either. None of us are perfect, but we're striving to stay in order, to endure to the end. All right? Not being weak. We want to be strong in this faith. And the way a wife makes her husband strong is by comforting him in the time of trouble. Okay? So again, Adawan Ratazah, it was edifying. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahahodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwam Yashala, Shalom, Abba Baba, Shalom.